what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1991 Mazda Rx7 convertible. Up front is a 1.3 liter rotary engine known as the 13B, and down below is a 5-speed manual gearbox. Now this car is owned by a good friend of mine named Bradley, so thank you Bradley for letting me take it out. It's really fun to not only, this is my first time reviewing a convertible, but also an S5. And if you guys don't know what an S5 is, I actually recently put out a video explaining the differences between the S4 and S5, or Series 4 and Series 5 of the RX-7. So let's talk about that 1.3 liter rotary engine. Well, it's a rotary, so if you guys don't know, instead of pistons, it has two little rotors. They're rated at about 155, 160 horsepower for the Series 5 here, which doesn't seem a lot, but out of a 1.3 liter, that's not bad. Something else interesting about rotary engines is that they're so small they can be mounted behind the front axle. So really, in a sense, this car is technically mid-engine. Although the engine is still up front, the hood's up front, it's technically mid-engine. The other nice thing about the rotary engine is that they love to rev. This car, the redline is at 8,000 RPM. 8,000 RPM factory out of a 1991 car. Now, because of that super high redline, and because the rotary engine really only has 3 moving parts, 2 rotors and eccentric shaft, it doesn't have any valves or anything, rotaries produce a really unique sound. Now, if you're new to rotary and don't understand rotary engine cars, you might find it interesting that you have to pre-mix these cars. And what that means is you have to put 2-stroke oil in with the gas at every fill-up. And that's because inside the engine, on the tips of the triangles, there's things called apex seals. And those apex seals rub and bump on the housings of the engine. See, Mazda knew about this, so they put a pump in the car that will feed oil into the housing, which is fine and dandy, except for the fact that you have no idea when they break, and they tend to break. So then, without you knowing it, your engine isn't getting any lubrication. So it's a good safety measure to put 2-stroke oil in with your gasoline. Now, a lot of people get up in arms about how much you should pre-mix, whether it's a ½ ounce or an ounce, but lucky enough for you, I have a complete video explaining pre-mixing, explaining apex seals, and that can be found on my channel, and I'll link the apex seal video, I'll link the pre-mix video at the end of this video so you guys can learn about pre-mix. So if you want to buy one of these, you know what to do from the get-go. Another nice feature is that this car has a limited slip differential. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of you, you get gauges with a center-mounted tachometer, which is really nice to remind you that you're driving a rotary and it'll rev for days. Next to that, you get your heating and air controls, and down below that you get a radio, which, since it's from 1991, this has since been swapped out. Of course, down below that, you get your shifter. And behind that, not only do you get your power, yes, power roof options, but you get the adjusters for the speakers that are inside the headrest. The headrests actually have speakers, which is kind of a 90s gimmicky thing. Obviously, it didn't catch on because I don't know of many other cars that have that, but it's a cool little feature and it's kind of fun to mess with. Other than that, RX-7s have never really been about the interior. But driving with the top down, this being the first convertible RX-7 I've ever reviewed, it's just something else. I mean, it really does change the entire experience. I got the wind going through my hair while driving a rotary. How weird is that? There is a downside to the fact that it's convertible, and that's that it weighs a lot more. This weighs somewhere in the 3,000 pound range. I've read from 3,200 to 3,500 pounds. And that's a lot heavier than the hardtop. So unfortunately, that extra weight kind of weighs down on the power. Because of that, the convertibles are unfortunately slower. But that doesn't mean they're still not fun sports cars. It's just if you're going for straight line speed, you're gonna want a hardtop. Another thing I really don't like about this RX-7 is the turn signal. It feels weird and it doesn't stay in the position that you put it in. So when you flip it up, it returns back to the normal position, but the blinker's still on, which is just so weird to me. It's like a Mini Cooper or BMW. Now you'll notice this car is sitting on what look like BBS wheels, and that's because they are. And you know what? That was a factory option, believe it or not. Yes, you could get this car with factory BBS wheels, and you know what? I think they look absolutely awesome. Mazda did something really good when they partnered up with BBS on that, because if I could, I would put them on my FB, but unfortunately I only have a 4-lug and this is 5-lug. Really, when it comes down to it, this is the RX-7 for cruising. If you want a speed demon, time attack, drift car, go with the coupe, the hardtop. It'll make your life a lot simpler, it'll be quicker, the chassis stronger. But if you're not into that, if you're not into hugging every apex, if you're not into, you know, zooming up and down a mountain, if you're just into cruising, just having a fun cruiser for days like this where it's sunny, this is a great car for that, because you get that peppy 1.3 liter rotary engine. It has a power roof. I mean, what more can you want out of a car? It's different. Yes, if you want a 2-door convertible, I can't say enough good things about the Miata, but this is different. This is so much different. Honestly, I would love to get one of these as a daily while I build my FB RX-7. That would be a dream, because this thing is just a cruiser. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 1991 Mazda RX-7 convertible. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.